So I think we all have this idea of like passive income being this mythical thing that only these rich people have when they drive around in Ferraris and they're hanging out on the beach. And it's not really achievable for the everyday person. And I think it really is. And I've been looking into this a lot in the past couple of weeks here because I'm trying to build up a few different streams of passive income so that I can eventually move from my active income, my day job, which is what most of us would do, working 9 to 5, exchanging 8 hours of work for 8 hours of pay, into something where you're able to build it. And it might take a lot of time and effort to build it, but then it will pay you indefinitely while you sleep, whether you work or not. And I wanted to go over a few different strategies here. And passive income does not mean that you never do anything and money just flows in. It means that you set something up and then you reap the rewards of that. So let's go over a few different strategies. So the first strategy is to create an online course that you're then able to sell. So this takes a lot of time up front where you're going to have to put in a lot of time and effort to build a course, but you can become an expert in a very short period of time, in a month. If you read, say, the top 3 or the top 5 books on a certain subject, plus you do a ton of research into that, you're gonna know more than 95% of the population about that specific subject. And then you're able to go ahead and make a course that is able to help people out. This is not slapping together something that's like sketchy and trying to rip people off. This is making a good quality course about something that you have looked deeply into, and you're not plagiarizing other stuff. You're making your own course, putting your own thoughts together, and making a course that you think can help other people. And then once you have that, you can put it on somewhere like Teachable, and that's a really cool site where people are able to go through and buy these different courses and go through them, and then they would take a small percentage of that. Now this works especially well for people who have social media followings. So maybe you have a YouTube channel or an Instagram or a blog or something like that, and you're able to advertise your course that way. For instance, Graham has a huge YouTube following. He has 2 different courses that he promotes. He has a YouTube course for like beginners, and then he also has a real estate course. And again, those you build once, you make the movies, the videos, the downloadable PDF, whatever happens to be, and then you can go ahead and keep promoting that. And his sell for like $300 to $500, I believe is what it is. And I have not gone through these personally, so I'm not gonna personally recommend them, but I'm sure he would say to
make sure to smash that like button if you haven't already.
But you don't have to have a huge following in order to be successful at this. You can make something, if it's really good quality and it's in a very small niche, you can make something that is very, very good and can be successful and can make you a lot of money long term, even if you don't have a huge following like that. It's just a really good thing to have, and then you're able to promote it on YouTube ads or blogs or wherever you're promoting your stuff. But I think it's really a cool thing where you just build it once and it continues to pay you. So the next one is affiliate marketing through ClickBank. So let's say you went ahead and you made a program. Now you can put this up on ClickBank, and people like me or other people would be able to promote that program. So let's say somebody made an awesome fitness program on ClickBank, and I used that program and I thought it was the best thing ever, and I wanted to promote it to you guys. I could go ahead and do that, and I would make a 50 to 75% commission. It really depends on the different program, and that's a really cool thing. So I'm able to make the same amount of profit as the person who built it, but I don't have to build a thing. I can just promote it. So people can actually make a ton of money just promoting other people's programs on social media or blogs or whatever your following is. You can promote this. You can even create websites all about somebody else's program and make a lot of money. And that is also awesome for the person whose program it is, because they're not having to do a thing whatsoever, and they're just making really passive income. So that's a really cool idea as well. So the next one is pretty similar to that. It is affiliate marketing. Now, most of the time you will see this happen on YouTube when you'll see different people saying, like promoting a book. They're gonna say Rich Dad Poor Dad is the best book ever, go check it out, link in the description, and I gave this whole book review and yada yada yada. Now Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good book when you're getting started, but it's not the best book. Definitely some things that are a little questionable in there, but overall it's a pretty good book. Anyways, if you did click on the link that was in my description, that was an affiliate link, and I would make a percentage of anything you bought on Amazon in the next 24 hours. So even if you didn't buy that book and you went ahead and you bought a new laptop or a different book, I would still get a percentage of that because Amazon wants to reward me for bringing someone to their platform. Now, this doesn't only work with Amazon. You can do this with a ton of different companies in a ton of different ways. So a lot of times you will see people when they're creating a blog, one of their first blog posts is always how to start a blog. And when they do that, they will get links to different things. It might be Bluehost or something else. And they will say, sign up through my link. Like, this is how you create a blog in 8 easy steps in 2019. And sign up with my link and whatever. So they have that all out. And then if you click on that, they will get $85, $100, whatever it happens to be for the commission, because that is a higher dollar product. And it's not just that, you can do that with so many different companies, and you can promote so many different things that you really believe in. You want to make sure that you're not just putting like just junk out there, but that's why you'll see a lot of YouTubers, especially, they'll do product reviews or blog posts as well. They'll do the top 10 cameras, this camera versus that camera, the best laptop, the best type of light, and whatever they're talking about, they're going to have a link. And it's because they want people to say, who are looking at that, who are saying, I'm wondering what camera to get, and then they want them to click on their link to go ahead and get that camera. So they might actually make more money from people clicking on their link than they would in the YouTube video itself. So that's a really cool thing if you want to get some passive income through affiliate links. So the next one is to start a YouTube channel or a blog or a podcast. Now these can all take a lot of work and a lot of time to get set up. But once you do get them set up, the really cool thing is you write this post or you make this video once, and then it continues to pay you indefinitely. So that's why it's important when you're making YouTube videos or when you're making content on whatever platform you're making it on. You want it to be searchable, you want it to be lasting for a long time. So that's why you'll see a lot of YouTubers or a lot of people trying to answer questions in their videos or their blog posts, so that when people type in that question, their video or their blog post or whatever will continue to come up for a long time. And so the idea of this is, though, even though I made one of my videos months ago, I am still making like $5 a day on that video. So that's not a ton, but at one point I was making like $50 a day, and then that kind of dropped off. But if you have a bunch of different videos that you have made, and then they're continuing to stay out there and continuing to generate cash flow, it can really add up if you do that for years. And it's really, really powerful if you are a YouTuber and you put in affiliate links and you put in courses. It just really adds up, so that you're not just making money from the ads that you see play before this video, but you're also making money from when people click on the stuff in your description or when they buy your course. So even if it's just 1 or 2% of people who do that, you'll probably make a lot more. And that's why a lot of courses are a few $100s, some are even $1,000. I'd be careful around those ones. You can probably find that information free. But that is why that is so profitable for these larger YouTubers. They're making a killing on that. But in order to have a course that is that expensive, you'll either have to bring a ton of value or you'll have to have a pretty good size audience. So another idea is to make and sell a digital product. Now this can be tons of different things. It can be music, it can be audio, it can be some type of preset. For instance, Sterling Cornell, who is a photographer, YouTuber, someone that I am a fan of, he makes Lightroom presets, and he just has like 2 or 3 of them. They're like $10 to $15. So you don't need to be this huge account in order to do that. But you could also be people like Peter McKinnon, who is a much larger scale, also does the same thing, where you're able to sell digital products. And a good place to sell those is on a store like Sellfy. Well, they will take a percentage, but you're able to have a nice storefront to sell your digital product. Now the next one I want to try here is making a Kindle ebook. This is pretty similar to making a course. When you put in that few months of putting it together, again, you can read a few different books, you can study a ton into one subject. It doesn't have to be something that you already know. And then you can go ahead and make this Kindle ebook, and it costs almost nothing to make. And then you're able to continue to market that for years if you want to. A lot of times these are not going to be wildly successful, so you might be better off with going quantity over, like, I don't want to say quality because it also has to be quality, but you want to try to make a few different ones. And if you can continue to put out ebook after ebook after ebook, maybe a few a year, then eventually if you're making 1 or 2 sales every week from 5 different books, that can really add up, as opposed to just trying to get that one book that really takes off. That can be very hard to do. And another cool thing about ebooks, if you are the author of something, people will think that you really know what you're talking about, and that can help your brand a lot. So it is good if you're trying to build a personal brand to write about something that is in your niche, so that you can say, I'm the author of this, and then also on this and this. So it kind of just gives you credibility in your circle. So the next one is something that's really cool, and I think it would be really fun for creators. It is to make stock video and stock photography. Now you can sell these on places like Getty Images or Shutterstock, and sometimes these pictures will sell for like $100 because people want really good high quality pictures for their ads or for their websites. So this could be a really cool way to monetize your hobby. And then again, you take that picture once, you edit it, you make it perfect, and then you upload it. And if people are buying that and it continues to be a popular one or even semi-popular one, then you're making $100. Like maybe even if it's just once a month that you sell it, you're making a pretty good amount of money. Again, if you are good at it, if you have a good camera, it can be a really fun way where if you're just making pictures and then they can stay for a really long time if they are good quality ones. That's something that I definitely want to try pretty soon because I'm trying to get a lot better at my photography. If you see the beginning of my videos till now, they are definitely a lot better, and I want to make sure I make that much of a difference like 10 times over in the next year or two so that my videos are really high quality and something I can be proud of and more of an art than just slapping a camera down. So the next one here is passive income through real estate. So what you want to do here is you want to get long-term buy and hold real estate like I am trying to do, where you're making monthly cash flow. And the cool thing is, on top of making monthly cash flow, you can also be paying down your mortgage, which is building equity in your property. It doesn't have to be that much work. For instance, with my property, I have done only a few hours worth of work on the actual property besides the rehab, which I chose to do myself. I've only put in a few hours over the past year. If you wanted it to be even more passive, you could go ahead and hire a property manager. They could go ahead and take care of everything for you, make this extremely, extremely passive. But if even that is too much, you could just be the investor in a real estate deal. So just this morning, I saw on Instagram, Mike Rosehart, who is a fellow YouTuber and real estate investor, offer to partner with somebody who is willing to put up the cash. So the idea here is that you would put up the cash and someone else would do all the work of investing and you would just be partners with them. So you would have 100% passive income where you're just putting up the money and you're not doing anything else, and the other person isn't putting up the money, but they are doing all of the work for you. So if you find someone who is really good with real estate investing, somebody you really trust, then this could be a really cool thing. So peer-to-peer lending is something that I'm trying to get into. So pretty much what this is, if you want to use a place like Lending Club or something like that, that's the one I'm trying to use, is you act as the bank. So if someone needs a small personal loan, maybe they're redoing their kitchen or maybe they're paying off their credit card debt or something like that, they would go ahead and borrow that money and then they would pay you the interest. That's a really more passive way to do this. It's kind of like investing in a dividend stock where you go ahead and you put the money in it and then they just return it to you with interest. And on LendingTree, I've seen some pretty good reviews. I have not tried it myself yet, so I will probably try to review it once I have done it for 6 months or a year or something like that. But I've seen some people getting pretty decent returns on there, so it's something I definitely want to try out and I feel comfortable recommending. That is what I got for you guys. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. Also click through to this video here where I talk about 5 different ways to live for free through house hacking, one of which I'm doing, one my brother's doing, and they will all work in different markets. Check it out.